telling you. If you've been following my Twitter, I seriously mentioned it somewhere during the week. Charlie, look, geniuses take advantage of situations. And as far as geniuses go, Reggie and Bowley. Charlie Bowley was giving advice on exercising at home, sanitizing while you... Nah, Charlie. Hard guy. Benjamin Nketsia here. So proudly brought to us by Betway. And of course, you, the cherished listener, can join us via text and WhatsApp 0549986996 0549986996. You can also get to me on Twitter. Tweet at me at Nketsia and use the hashtag #SportsPanorama. So yeah, Charlie, Ghana's COVID-19 cases has climbed up to 4,012. No, if you didn't hear me right, I said 4,012. So for those of you who have thrown caution to the wind and are back in normal times, I'm here to remind you that we really still aren't in normal times. This might just be the biggest leap in fresh cases that has been announced. Well over what, 900? If this doesn't alarm you and cause you to take extra precaution, I don't know what else will. The biggest precaution, of course, you can help everybody else take is to stay at home. Restrict your movement as much as possible if you have nowhere going. Wear your mask. Sanitize your hands regularly, wash your hands regularly, and keep your distance. 4,000 cases and over. That's no joke. So Reggie and Bowley, like I said, Charlie, big banger. Big banger. They call this one Coromental. If I can't advise you enough, I can't make you aware enough, because maybe I'm sounding some way. They have the right flavor to do it. Let's jump onto this one. The official Corona vibe till Corona is over and dealt with on Sports Panorama. We'll be back in a few minutes, seconds. I don't know, we'll be back. Enjoy.
Baby, take care of yourself before it's too late. Told you. Coromental. Coro danger. Coro no good. Coro too bad. Coro too much. Coro deadly. Coro virus. Coro mess up. Coro. Antantizer. Hand sanitize. Hand sanitizer. Antantizer. Hand sanitizer. Stay home.
It's a corona.
Let go.
Corona coming like an undercover. Hey. Wicked corona. Causing havoc in Europe and Africa. Corona. Virus for every corner. Mampenisa you for city home. That's a upia kasha bulala. Corona. Virus for every corner. Mampenisa you for city home. That's a upia kasha bulala.
Watch out, man them. Stay home. Don't flout. Watch out, man them. Don't come. Stay home.
As you dey work from home, you for hand sanitize. You go chop more food, so try exercise. You dey work from home, you for hand sanitize. You go chop more food, so try exercise.
Watch your back, my sister, just hear me. Social distance is necessary. Corona is coming to kill me, and we saving our families. Watch your back, my sister, just hear me. Social distance is necessary. Corona is coming to kill me, and we saving our families.
Hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. No, Charlie, see, like I was saying, right? Look, you barely ever hear a trending song that's like related to a trending matter that actually makes sense on the music level. Like they didn't try to be corny with it. They just went straight for the kill. They put all the advice you need in there, social distancing. Charlie, coach, hand what?
Oh no, I better get
Antantizer.
Causing havoc in Europe, America. Sawa.
Nah, Charlie, today more than ever, we need to be committed into the present. So I have Sowutum Steph Curry on my right, aka Nathan Kwao. We'll be telling you what he's been up to. I told you. See, first we've had Reggie Zippy on the show, Accra Cowboy. Nathan Kwao and King of Accra will also be making an appearance. And I'm telling you, see, I know the hype. I know the hype. See, I know the hype. I've played singles on this show, right? I've played Nathan's covers, BB Byington's. This is the best yet. Like, see, and then we'll call with why you like just keep your down here. You don't want to go because
tonight is great.
Mad.
Historical.
No more. What the if a he hears?
When he hears and like be shimo yami. But I've been COVID na corona chale buwe lele. Okay, you watch it.
4012.
Hey, you what's about?
Comment us, please.
You what's about in the le. When swani maswai. How you wa? No kaje nyakashi menejin wo gbehin. You wa ko ya wo mi. Wala ke bu no ko he ba wo mi awo. Eni ni bi e shele agbene ton be ni wo yo le gamie. Formo e shelagba. Ka formo shelagba bo acho. Won chabo yo wa ko ya wo mi. Eni ni bi e shele formo e shelagba you for ye. Yo wa no wo chabo la ko ba gbena. Corona ebuwe crack no la ke jabo pe no ba ni bulabe menele oba menele oh ihiti fefen menele sanjin le pie ba oba fen ogbe ami no la ke wona gbe me mo fe mo ni sa ke chake ba chake Ghana bi nya ni bulaba wo corona ebuwe wo ha ni ebuwe mo fe mo hawo nose mask ni tabie ne wo nose mask ba ko boss ni tankwa mo fe mo nose mask won panya fai okay yesu won panya fai ni mo gba mi won panya fai social distance afọ de ko be no ko fe mo tachia mi tachia hu e ni maba sports panorama ni shinsha ni ba ne mo fe mo fi ale na kan bona fe ni bi ajaje awo ni dola ba ni wo bi aya school ni ona shikani sako na nona oh yowa ba yo bwa ya yesu ba me amen
Sawa. Baby, take care of yourself before it's too late. Told you.
Amen to the rabbi. And if you didn't understand what he said, he says stay at home. Basically, stay at home. We want our regular lives back.
Too much.
And guess what we have on the menu for today? Oh, Charlie. See, it's like you be there and you say, Charlie, this week the issues have not been hot. Like what we could discuss for Panorama, like you the one that you distress. Then Mayele. Oh, Mayele. Kwesi Mayele appear. Charlie, he has dropped the juice in our laps. So the lowdown on this issue is that Kwesi appear for the last 5 months has not seen his salary as Black Stars head coach. I mean, when he was Black Stars head coach, in the last 5 months on the job, he did not receive any money. Now, Kwesi Appiah was on a salary of $35,000 US. That situation was spoken about just before he walked out on the job. Apparently, he reminded them twice before he walked out on the job. Nothing has happened. Now, yesterday, he granted an interview saying that enough is enough. The posture of the present GFA administration reeks of massive disrespect. He feels that he has been patient enough, he has been tolerant enough, and now the time has come to give him what is due him. Now, the bigger questions that have arisen out of this situation and what is making the matter murky is who or what body is actually responsible for paying the salary. Now, we've always been under the impression, you see, this is why we always say in this job that 100% transparency allows everybody to be on the same page and know where we are all going. We've always been under the impression that $35,000 salary of the Black Stars head coach is paid by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Now, Kwesi Appiah is quoted as saying that his salary is owed him by the Ghana Football Association. Now, the GFA, of course, officially have not spoken on the matter. And we've heard a lot of things. But basically, the reason why the FA are unrelenting in this issue is that they do not feel that this is their mandate. The FA say clearly that if it is money you are talking about, you know where you get your money from. The ministry handed you the house, the official car, and they paid the salary. So why now are you trying to drag us in the mud and make us look bad and say that for 5 months we have not settled your salary? Is it that Kwesi Appiah is saying that the FA should be the middleman or the agents in getting him his money? It's all very confusing now. The FA, like I'm saying, have officially not provided their position on the matter. Kwesi Appiah says his lawyer is Stadio Sorry. He has reminded them enough. It's time to go to the law court with the matter because he has played Mr. Nice Guy for too long. Coach, I'll start with you on this matter. Now, before we get to specifics on what I want to ask, what did you make of this when you heard it first and foremost? Like your impressions on Kwesi Appiah crying foul over 5 months' salary, saying that the GFA owe him money and that they are disrespecting him.
In fact, I cried.
You cried real tears?
Yes, I did. Because in totality, the last time the young man received any form of money was 10 months ago. Because we are in May, isn't it? And we've not been told that Kwesi Appiah has gotten himself another coaching job. So as we speak, per his chosen profession, he's jobless. So which means that the last time he got any form of money on the job he has chosen to pursue as a profession was 10 months ago. So practically, the man has been working, not having any money to build on in the last 10 months.
Okay, Chris, just a quick interjection, just to put this into context. So, Ben, you're saying that the FA hasn't spoken. Well, it looks like the FA has spoken.
What was this?
I'm coming. Their comms director,
Henry Asante
Chum. So there's a story quoted. There's a story on GhanaSoccerNet.com in which Henry Asante Chum is quoted as speaking to the BBC. Now I'll read the quotes in the story. So Henry Asante Chum says, quote, "The GFA does not pay the coach. It is the state that pays the coach. The GFA is the employer of the head coach of the national team, but his salary is paid by the state. He, Kwesi Appiah, wrote to the GFA demanding his outstanding salaries and bonuses, and we have forwarded his letter to the sports ministry. It is the ministry that must pay him, not the GFA. Kwesi Appiah has been in and out of the Black Stars for so many years, and he knows that it is not the FA that pays him. It is very strange to read what is going around because it's not the FA that pays the head coach. It is the government of Ghana. That has been the constitution. That has been the constitution. The government owes him." End quote. So
this was published today.
So this was published on the 8th of May 2020.
And that's today. So I'm sure this was a few hours ago, a few minutes ago. Yeah.
Henry and the FA should not be talking like this.
Why?
It's simple. As it stands now, Kwesi Appiah will not take the ministry or the government of Ghana to FIFA. When he, Henry, or the FA is taken to FIFA by Kwesi Appiah, and Kwesi provides the detail of his contract, you will clearly see on that contract that there's nowhere that the ministry signs on behalf of the Ghana Football Association. You see, we all know that at the end of the day, the money will not come from the FA. The money will come from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, or for that matter, the government of Ghana. But surely the FA has a role to play in all this, because it is like they are the middleman of the in between the government and the head coach of the Black Stars. A similar thing is happening now. Unless the FA is trying to tell me or Ghanaians that today if Sika Kono experiences the same problem,
he has to go to the government for his money.
What sort of behavior is this? What is that? We should not be doing this to our own.
Coach, hold on a second, but let's establish some clarity in this matter. When Kwesi Appiah was signing the contract, we've always known that the FA pick up the money from government, the ministry, and then hand it to the coach.
Exactly.
The ministry pays the coach.
No, I'm just saying either the FA don't pay, but I'm saying that of course the ministry doesn't pay the money directly
into the
Appiah.
coach's account.
I don't think that's what happens.
That is not what happens.
I don't think, because with everything Kwesi Appiah has to do, I think he has to deal with a middle person.
You
right?
see, if you go through the quotes that I read, attributed to Henry Asante Chum, and he spoke to the BBC, and I don't think he ran away from these quotes. I think this is from this, and from my experience with dealing with someone like Herad News, for example. If there are contractual problems, you will talk to the FA, because obviously it's the FA that employs you.
That's it.
Now the FA will take your grievance and take it to the ministry. So as to where the money eventually ends up, that is what I'm yet to find out.
Whether it goes through the FA should be the one pushing the ministry to pay the money.
The key part from the Kwesi Appiah quote is he says that the FA have basically gone silent on him, and that he feels that they're not telling him anything.
Of course.
He's reminded in fact,
okay.
hold on.
So the ministry so we know that the ministry pays the coaches directly. Before it was the sponsor. You remember GMPC used to handle the coaches' salaries and all of that until they decided not to do otherwise.
If we are being told today, or we are being made to understand that the ministry pays the coach directly,
yes,
then the FA will have to win itself of any form of contract between any coach, so that the ministry will go ahead and
hold your thoughts a second. Let's listen to Kwesi Appiah himself speak on the matter. This interview was granted to Star FM Sports just about a little under 48 hours ago. Let's listen to Kwesi Appiah speak on the matter himself.
Whilst I was working with the FA, I decided to keep quiet on my salaries. But at the end of the day, if you're not working with someone, the best way is to give him whatever he deserves, and then he goes away. Then, as of December, they've not paid. I decided to keep quiet on it. Now it's 3 months now. The question is, you should ask yourself, how am I able to feed my family? Meanwhile, I quite remember when they took over, Kofi Amor gave them $1 million, and I even understand there's some $500,000 from FIFA or whatever. So the bottom line is you should look at the essential ones and then you try and sort it out. But it looks like they don't care. But this, I've worked for it, and whatever I deserve, should be paid, and everybody goes out peacefully without any accusations or anything. But they are not telling me anything. They are not, it doesn't show sign of respect, and I think that my lawyers need to deal with it. So it's either they will take it to the courts or they will take it to FIFA.
So you heard Kwesi Appiah. Now I want to quote something he said in there. I don't know, but when you listen to Kwesi Appiah speak, he feels as if and his language is clear. He doesn't feel as if the government of Ghana needs to be involved in this matter, because he said clearly that the FA took $1 million from Kofi Amor, and they also took FIFA forward money. So his money in his head is priority. He's not even mentioned the state at all in this matter. So he says that, you know what, it's as if you people know that you owe me money, but you are playing games with me. And I don't want to believe that Kwesi Appiah is ignorant of how issues work at the GFA. I don't want to believe that.
The man knows that. when if this thing were to end up in the law court or at FIFA, it's the FA that goes to defend, not the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And look, recently, the FA came out with the legacy debt. In that legacy debt statement, you know, there's some amount of money.
Yeah.
Yes, they captured. Yes,
of course. So if indeed they know
you've captured that money in there,
that they has got nothing to do with the payment of money to the head coach, why do you now include it in the debt that you owe? Benjamin, are you following what I'm saying? Why didn't you see? The fact of the matter is because Akwesi is Ghanaian. We don't want to be saying some of these things, but that is what it is. Because look, Ivan Grant, you see.
But you see, he's not the only person to suffer this. Herad Noose suffered the same fate. And I went to interview Herad Noose. I'm coming. At Alisa Hotel. We all understand Kwesi Appiah's situation. I think what is causing all of this is this very interesting arrangement, right?
It's the arrangement we need to find clarity on.
See, the FA employs the coach. The ministry pays the coach. What I think is going on is this. One, Kwesi Appiah signs a contract with the GFA.
Yep.
I'm going to coach the Black Stars.
Yep.
Clearly, if he has any queries,
I come to the
write directly to the FA. The FA in turn will write to
the ministry.
The ministry will get their money and they will pay. Right now, the ministry will sign a check to the GFA, who then signs a check to the coach. The issue, I suspect, the problem now is one. Are the FA pushing hard enough to get Kwesi Appiah's money paid? Because
I don't think they are. They are rather concerned about stimulus package.
We are not sure about that. No. We can't speculate.
We should be sure about that, because since the man exited the job, we've never heard a statement from them, because they issued a letter that he should bring back whatever belongings.
And even to add more flesh to this matter, I remember at the last Meet the Press where the Kurt had just taken office then.
And if you read the quotes I gave you, Henry says they have sent their issues to the ministry.
Yeah.
You understand? Now the problem is this.
But does Kwesi Appiah know this? Have they told Kwesi Appiah?
I cannot tell for a fact if they have or they haven't.
Ben, in the man's interview, he said that they've gone silent.
It has gotten to the point of disrespect.
That's what it is.
I get Kwesi Appiah's point. But what I also find interesting is this. That why does he think that the FA will deliberately go silent and not want to pay him? Clearly, he's been coached for a while. He probably knows how things work. If he has any issue, and I totally respect Kwesi Appiah's line of action. I'm talking to the FA. I signed the contract with you, even though I know my money will come from somewhere. You will have to push the process.
You don't include that in the law court. That Akwesi knows his money will come from the government.
Let me finish.
Hold on. Let him land. Let him make it.
So, what I'm saying is this. Kwesi Appiah, whether we can admit this in court or not, he knows that this is the process. Right? And he has every right to push the FA to get him his money. He has every legal right to do so. What I am saying that we all don't get is, one, after speaking to the ministry or forwarding Kwesi Appiah's concerns, has the FA followed up? What has the ministry said? Now, if the ministry has given a response to the FA and they have not told Kwesi Appiah anything, then the GFA is in the wrong, because now you are sitting on information that the man must get. Yeah. If the ministry hasn't said anything, it is still incumbent on the GFA to come and tell Kwesi Appiah, Mr. James Kwesi Appiah, we have spoken to the government. The government hasn't said anything. We are telling them to talk. They are not talking. So everybody knows where they are. Because how this is going, if you ask me, it is as though one person wants to get up and create a certain impression. I don't want to think that we will look into Kwesi Appiah's face and tell him that we will not pay you what we owe you. It will be absolutely shocking to see that we will do this to our own. But of course, when we are not saying anything to the man,
that's what it means.
Information is not flowing.
And he says that,
like I always say, in the absence of information, people will speculate. The only thing that to solve this problem is information flow. That is it.
You see, at the end of the day, the man was not paid in December, November, October, September, August. 5 months. 5 good months. Okay? 5 good months, he did not receive his money. But the very moment he comes out complaining, the spokesperson of the FA has given a response, isn't it? Isn't it? So it tells me, like Nathan said, they have not communicated enough to the man. Look, in the law court, nobody will go and tell Nketsia Appiah that you know it is the ministry who pay your money. What shows? What shows? In the law court, you don't speak. It's about contract. And that contract is clearly between the coach and the Ghana Football Association. And like I've said, in their legacy debt, if they know that they were not entitled to pay the man that money, why did they include it as a debt that they owe? You see, so this is simple. For me, look, for me, I think we should stop these things. I'm not worried about Nketsia Appiah. I'm worried about Coach Sika Akono and then David Duncan and the rest. Because a time will come when it becomes that clear that they will exit the position as head coach and assistant. We will be treating them the same way. Avram Grant, Milovan Rajvac, Plavi, all the white coaches who came to this country, the very day their contract came to an end, we never heard anywhere.
Probably with the exception of Herad News.
But we also agree that the arrangement was different then. GMPC were handling salaries then.
Whether it's GMPC or government of Ghana, at the end of the day, GMPC was still giving the money to the FA, and the FA was the one paying those people. To the extent that, what's the name of the man you mentioned?
Herad News.
He said, until you give me my money,
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Did he write to the minister or he wrote to the government of Ghana? He wrote to the Ghana Football Association and told them.
I went to interview Herad News a few days before he left Ghana.
You see,
at Alisa Hotel.
we should not be doing these things. And like I'm saying, I'm not worried about Nketsia Appiah. I'm worried about the current manager or the current coaching team. Because if I'm sick and I sit back and I look at what is happening, I just begin to look into the field. Look, one day I'm going to find myself in this sort of state. We are talking about Nketsia Appiah. Ibrahim Tanko is owed some money.
In fact, that's what
Stephen Appiah is owed.
I was coming to that.
What is this?
When we were at the last Meet the Press I was talking about, and there are junior coaches actually who are also owed money. Junior teams, there are junior teams that are still owed winning bonuses. In fact, the Black Bombers squad that went to Senegal for Olympic qualifiers, they have not received their money.
Been paid. You understand what I'm saying? So you look at the situation and say, look, this FA should be up and doing. If you are not the paying master, then you are more or less like the middleman between the one who pays and the one who gets the job done on the field. You should be seen working. You should not be responding to BBC. You should not be doing that. You should rather be seen doing your job. By granting such an interview to BBC or whatever, will not solve the problem. What you should be seen doing is tackling the issues head on. By going to grant, look, if Nketsia had not spoken on this matter, the FA would have never said a word. And like I'm saying, you are calculating 5 months. I'm looking at the last time the man received any form of money from his own profession was exactly 10 months ago. Because we are in January, February, March, April, May. We are in May. So if his last payment came in July, from August to December, it's 5 months. From January to May, it's 5 months. That's 10 months. You don't treat your own. Look at you, head away. You say, how do you expect me to feed my family? Practically, all that he's saying is that we are starving him with his family. He's got a very beautiful family. They need to eat. They need to get things done. People are being paid. People are being paid by granting interview to BBC. There's nothing wrong with that. That is your job. We understand. But in addressing, you see, you should not be seen going to international media with things that can be settled at home. You see, the moment you do that, it's like you are rather putting us out there. So for me, I
got called by this. So I say he shouldn't have spoken to
you see, there are matters. When you call Henry, he will tell you, as for this one, I won't talk about it. He could have told them that look, these are internal matters, so we'll get it sorted out. You don't go and grant BBC. The coach knows, the minister, the government, by putting For all you know, BBC and go, they don't even know that this is the way we have structured our thing.
But he stated in the interview.
No, at the end of the day, you don't go talking to BBC when we are dealing with what? Internal matters.
I don't think that's the crux of the matter.
No, for me, look, the problem I have with this particular interview is that then he should have told the whole world that Akwesi appears. He shouldn't wait for Akwesi to come complaining that we are starving him and his family. But like I'm saying, if indeed they know they are not the paying masters, then go and remove Akwesi Appiah's name from that legacy debt. Because there's a portion in there that says that the Ghana Football Association owes Akwesi Appiah a certain amount of money. What job has Akwesi done for them? Of course, it's to coach the Black Stars. So that money, I presume, is indeed his salary. So you see how they are contradicting themselves? The FA is virtually contradicting themselves, and they should stop that and tackle the issue, because we should not be seen talking at me. I'm worried about Sike Akono and Coach David Duncan, people who we have tasked to put an end to a 39-year drought of not winning an AFCON. They should not be thinking about such things. They should be fully focused on the job. You've not paid Olele. Steve-O is not. Ibrahim Tanko, he's still working for the FA. He's not been paid. From being the assistant coach to Akwesi Appiah, he's now the head coach of the local Black Stars. You need to pay people their money. So FA, Katokreku, my good friend, they should go to the minister.
Kwesi Appiah says, Charlie, the FIFA forward money drops. So Charlie,
of course.
Make us let me hold something.
Of course, such monies are not meant for that. But at the end of the day, if you start to that extent, these are the sort of things you will say. But Ben, I want to say this to the minister. You see, we all know, like I have said, when you take this matter to court, the ministry will not be pulling there. It's the FA against Akwesi Appiah. If it gets to FIFA, that is what it's going to be like. But at the end of the day, we know that they will have to pay the money. So please, Honorable Isiama, please, today you know that you went to cabinet meeting trying to debate why the stimulus package and all that. Include Stephen Appiah, Olele, Ibrahim Tanko, Coach Akwesi Appiah, and all the other junior coaches who are owed some amount of money. These are things that takes. Look, we all here know that to win a major tournament, you need luck. When you treat people like this, and they say certain things, it will follow our team. No more cop hormone yemi. When was the last? Have you ever seen the Black Star win a cup before?
Not never.
I didn't get the opportunity to see them in it too. I was very, extremely, very, very young, not even knowing my left from my right. I want to see one, and we need an element of luck. We heard people like Reverend Sekofi said that because they were not treated well, sometimes that is why we'll never win the win the AFCON again. Then was it President Kufuor, Prof Mills, the late came and got that problem sorted out. Please, Ibrahim Tanko, he's a wonderful young man with a very, very cute family. Yeah, I know his family. Very, very good. And his children are still in school. They need money to fund these bills. Too many ways. The president is being paid. The general secretary is being paid. Maybe they'll say, no, you have to get involved and get these people their money. Stop granting interview to BBC and go to the minister and get him to raise the money. Quick. Now, can will be 10 months, ne? Akwesi Appiah kobe eke homo yame. Homo yeke nga. Ona iwe. He said it.
Let's listen to Kwesi Appiah once again. I'll take a few messages and then we'll move on to the next item on the bill. Let's listen to Kwesi Appiah speak about his situation.
Whilst I was working with the FA, I decided to, keep quiet on my salaries. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you're not working with someone, the best way is to give him whatever he deserves and then he goes away. Then, as of December, they've not paid. I decided to keep quiet on it. Now it's 3 months now. The question is, you should ask yourself, how am I going to feed my family? Meanwhile, I quite remember when they took over, Kofi Annan gave them $1 million, and I even understand there's some $500,000 from FIFA or whatever. So the bottom line is you should look at the essential ones and then you try and sort it out. But it looks like they don't care. But this, I've worked for it, and whatever I deserve, should be paid, and everybody goes out peacefully without any positions or anything. But they are not telling me anything. They are not, it doesn't show sign of respect. And I think that my lawyers need to deal with it. So it's either they will take it to the courts or they will take it to fifth.
Charlie, but I like Kwesi Appiah. So this is an angry Kwesi Appiah. Hey! Charlie, Kwesi Appiah say,
there's some money. The essential ones.
What's the one man san kame drete?
No.
Atasa, what's the one man san kame drete?
But the enye no ko.
Minim de one sa so skip him.
1.5 bi aba. 1.5 bi alande.
No, but Charlie, this is an angry Kwesi Appiah. Calm, articulate.
They're very straightforward. Of course, it's an issue of money.
Give me my money.
There's disrespect in Abem.
Charlie,
you don't do that.
let me read a few messages that have been coming through. Interesting times ahead. This one here is from Farouk Headliner. Says, I just want to know where the GFA stands with regards to the league, because I thought CAF gave May 5th as a deadline. Well, the update is that the GFA wrote back to CAF telling them that because they are an institution in this country, they cannot just get up and act on their own accord. So they need to act in line with measures from the government, the health ministry, and all the various stakeholders that are involved in this fight before they can declare a stance on the matter. So they've asked for a 2-week window with which to update themselves on the matter.
And they've even added to that. So they are saying that they've given themselves up until even the 30th of June before they will take a proper decision on the league.
But do they have that power to go to the 30th of June?
Well, the latest...
They don't function in isolation.
Yeah, the latest statement from the FA is that the GFA has frozen the league until the 30th of June. And then they will decide on what to do. I'm sure they hope by then...
Some of these things, when they say them, you wonder. They have not frozen the league. It's the government of Ghana that has put a ban on all social gatherings.
The FA is saying that
you cannot go and play your league.
Just telling you what the statement is saying. The statement says we have put the league on hold until the 30th of June.
They should go and play.
But of course, they are not going to play.
Of course. So what I'm saying is they can only go and play if the ban is lifted.
So that's what they.
So they moved on from the 30th of May, which was supposed to be the 2 weeks.
So initially that was, and then it looks like they've realized that look here, they can't do anything unless government gives them the green light. So they are saying that
COVID-19 in your
2012.
No social gathering le na ko ba no kra yi. Na ko ba no.
That's some
Oh no, that is the fact of the matter. Social gathering.
Hard to take news, but that's the reality on the ground. Let's get to more messages coming through. This one here says, yes, my weekend has begun with Sports Panorama. Numu, you guys make me forget about coronavirus. Kwesi from Kaswa. This one's from how do you say that name? Godo, I think. Afeke John from Ashaiman. I hope I got your name right. Says that good evening to you and your crew. I think by now the FA if by now the FA has not paid Kwesi Appiah, then they are not being fair to him at all. If I were him, I would have been in court a long time ago. Farouk from Tema says, it's so disrespectful the way we treat our own. The FA should own up and pay Coach Appiah's money to him. The double standards of the FA should not be tolerated. You are above government interference in your affairs and you want government to pay your employees for you? My God. Farouk from Tema says. This one's from Franklin Bedu Jr. says that in Nketsia. So we were paying Kwesi Appiah almost 200,000 Ghana cedis a month for those questionable tactics. Yes, I know he needs to be paid, but he should stop saying things like how he will feed his family if he is not paid. If he's saying, but for the Black Stars job, he couldn't have afforded to feed. Is he saying, but for the Black Stars job, he couldn't have afforded to feed his family? Interesting stuff. This one here says, have we ever had a foreign coach's salary delay in our Black Stars history before?
Never.
If no, then it means local coaches are not respected in this country. Simple. When it's a foreign coach, it's a full-time job and everything is done professionally. But when it comes to local coaches, it's like national service. Respect your fellow Ghanaian professionals. That's from Sly. Lambert from Dodowa says that some monies are very difficult to pay, but the FA should please try and facilitate or mediate for the payment of the money. So it doesn't look like the FA has a problem with Kwesi Appiah and that we do not know about. The interview Appiah granted clearly shows that he thinks the FA are those who pay him, because he referred to some monies received by the FA in recent times. Shall I say, it's not that difficult. This one here is from Galactico inside Zamrama line. Says Kwesi Appiah should consult his lawyers to file suit against the FA for the right thing to be done. I don't know why we Africans always try to cheat our own at the expense of the expert. This one's from Williams from Accra. Says, Ben, I'm not surprised at how Coach Nimley is all over the place. Kwesi Appiah should be paid what is due him, but he knows the ministry pays his salary. But I know he is bitter, but public office is not inheritance. So tell Nimley to direct his anger to his beloved minister. Say no to double standards. Okay.
Just told the minister to pay the money.
Exactly. I'm sure he didn't hear that bit, so you had to rehash it for him. Yakubu Ibn Chambers from Bolga says that would this have been the posture of the GFA and the ministry if Kwesi Appiah had white skin? Kwesi Appiah is the most vilified sportsman ever to have graced the sports fraternity in Ghana. The management of the FA should stop disgracing Ghana. Bellerina Seidu from Madina says, I wish they should just cancel football. The beautiful game is a contact sport. Players are jumping together, running against each other, tackling each other, among many things. Jude Abaga from Kolegono says that I think we need to celebrate our local coaches, because if you can work without pay and still take great rebuke from fans and well wishers, then Nana Munjimu too. But we all ought to do better. This one's from Nketsia from Kaswa. Says the FA have deliberately decided not to pay Kwesi Appiah his money because he's Ghanaian. They also send their budget to the government. If they have prioritized the man's salary as important, they would have paid. This one's from Nana Kwabena Quening. Says that good evening. Coach has nailed the matter on its head. The FA must do the needful. Okay, so get to us via text and WhatsApp. Keep getting to us. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. There's also Twitter. You can get to me on Twitter at Nketsia. Use the hashtag Sports Panorama. So Kwesi Appiah versus the GFA, aka the sports ministry. That's what it's looking like now. We'll get some clarity on the matter for you as it progresses. But then I told you that we've been cooking with gas. Yeah, Charlie. Nathan been in the studio. Charlie, small time in the newsroom. No, then your man disappear. Goes downstairs. You don't know what he's doing. Then he disappears.
Nah. In fact, I accuse him. I said, oh no, what to me?
He's been cooking with gas.
He's been up to it. Yeah, he's been up to it.
Charlie, see, look, like I know the hype. Like I've heard singles. I've played singles. See, the number. You see, I won't tell you the title of the song. Nothing. Like just listen, enjoy. I'll come back and then I'll do my shenanigans after. Enjoy.
Now goody.
Yeah.
Yo show baba on my time.
Da.
Yo show quick. Oh show akudu wewe. Oh show adolo.
Oh yeah.
Oh she's a boy.
Oh yeah.
You're talking I do.
Oh yeah.
I'm riding my rhymes on the biggest pad. My people be watching, they think it's mad. I'm laughing and grinning because I just roll up and pick up the money in the biggest bag. In 2020 we'll be rolling hard. That be why the bang I be going hard. You think that we slow when you see what we doing? We give you the music, we're going far. We're headed for the top now, never gonna stop now, never gonna flap now. Keep it going, and we're never gonna drop now. So you better stop now, never gonna tap now. We be going, you people thinking we joking and really funny. Look at the ratings, if you're checking your silly money. We taking everything you're putting on the table, we're leaving you disabled. You only get a silly dummy. They call me the chief. Oh yeah. Big boy never sleep. Oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek. Oh yeah. With a 363. Oh yeah. They call me the chief. Oh yeah. Big boy never sleep. Oh yeah. Put a rap on fleek. Oh yeah. With a 363. Oh yeah. I take a pause and I breathe and I know this. And then I roll with the best and the coldest. You know I got more skills and I show this. The sub-zero weather, you never hold this. You never messing with the figure man. Hyper quick, you blink and it's a trigger man. Type of guy you rope with the jigger man. Rock and stay the shot, that's the bigger man. Yeah, I got my people saying dibby. Charlie walk more, we're looking for the city. And they be taking me neat, the same GD. And they be calling us bad, the same DDD. We're doing every day, we work busy. Who be the boss? They be asking me mini. I'm living them with the tension, the heebie-jeebie. So right now, it be feely-feely, so no giddy-giddy. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put a rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. So many people wanna come at me at the debate. I sit back and I hesitate. I hit fast and I leave on the floor while I meditate. So clean that, I just delegate, and then I bury waste. So when I hit them in the chest and they levitate, they know it's heavyweight, and then I relegate. And other minor things in the background, I pop and I celebrate. And I'm an enemy up, they try pulling me down. We taking over, I got the game looking me now. So now we roll up to the place and they shook me now. I got my people taking up, hooking me now. Streets, they got my name, sit on top of fame, dropping these rhymes on beats. We got the flame, now the hit strap. They love the hip hop, your girl, she twerk for me up on TikTok. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put a rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah.
They call me the chief.
My boss is the chief.
They call me the chief.
My boss is the chief.
Hey, see, so who told him?
What?
So who told him?
Stand up.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Charlie.
Right there. If you thought I was kidding, the Soweto people, if you say you were listening, please, all of you go to the Soweto Park now. Go and gather at the Soweto Park. I'm about to drop this again. Before we get into the next item, Charlie, see, it's been controversy. They say the Bundesliga will start on the 16th. That's the matter. Charlie, some agenda started this week. Because I'm a journalist, I don't want to see the agenda in it. I want to see the debate in it. We'll be doing Party versus SN after this, so don't go anywhere. Relax. Soweto people, Soweto's finest, dropping this. And just before anybody's confused, this guy is not a rapper by profession. Like, you understand? He's not a rapper he's not like a pro rapper. Like, he does this like when he's bored. Like,
he's bored.
Yeah. Please drop it for me again. Go again.
City 97.3. More variety.
Yeah.
Yo, show Baba on one time.
City 97.
Yo, show quick. Oh, show Akuduwebi. Oh, show Adolo.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, she's a boy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You're talking to do.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm riding my rhymes on the biggest pad. My people be watching, they think it's mad. I'm laughing and grinning because I just roll up and pick up the money in the biggest bag. In 2020 we'll be rolling hard. That be why the bang I be going hard. You think that we slow when you see what we doing? We give you the music, we're going far. We're heading for the top now, never gonna stop now, never gonna flap now. Keep it going, and we're never gonna drop now. So you better stop now, never gonna tap now. We be going, you people thinking we joking and really funny. Look at the ratings, if you're checking your silly money. We taking everything you're putting on the table, we're leaving you disabled. You only get a silly dummy. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put a rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. I take a pause and I breathe and I know this, and then I roll with the best and the coldest. You know I got more skills and I show this. The sub-zero weather, you never hold this. You never mess with the figure man. Hyper quick, you blink and it's a trigger man. Type of guy you rope with the trigger man. Rock and stay the shot, that's the bigger man. Yeah, I got my people saying dibby dibby. Charlie, what more? We're looking for the city. And they be taking me neat, the same jitty. And they be calling us bad, the same jitty. We're doing every day, we're rock busy. Who be the boss? They be asking mini. I'm living them with the tension, the heebie-jeebie. So right now, it be feely-feely, so no giddy. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put a rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah. So many people wanna come at me at the debate. I sit back and I hesitate. I hit fast and I leave on the floor while I meditate. So clean that, I just delegate, and then I bury waste. So when I hit them in the chest and they levitate, they know it's heavyweight, and then I relegate. And other minor things in the background, I pop and I celebrate. And I'm an enemy up, they try pulling me down. We taking over, I got the game looking me now. So now we roll up to the place and they shook me now. I got my people taking up, hooking me now. Streets, they got my name, sit on top of fame, dropping these rhymes on beats. We got the flame, now the hit strap. They love the hip hop, your girl, she twerk for me up on TikTok. They call me the chief, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big boy never sleep, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put the rap on fleek, oh yeah, oh yeah. With a 363, oh yeah, oh yeah.
This is what I say.
Charlie.
Wow. Yeah, so
Damn, man.
My man.
Charlie.
How do you do this? Somebody's going to tune into Sports Panorama. Wait, is that Sports Panorama?
Yes, it is.
It is Sports Panorama. That's what we do out here.
Right, so so that's the first.
The chief.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Love that.
So that's the first proper single in the proper sense of the word out. I'll be dropping the link so you can get it on Audiomack. You can get it on YouTube. But I have more music coming. But I'd like to say shout to iPapi. iPapi did the production. He hooked me up with the beat. King of Accra did the mix, helped me record. So those are the two guys I've been working with, and I'll be working with them for quite a while. So that's
Yo, this is
so that's
chemistry flow.
That's the first time I heard when I got the beat from iPapi, I just let it play and then managed to write. And
see, I tell you my first experience with the song, right? So he just calls me when like, come and listen to something.
It was yesterday,
and I'm just like, I just hear like the first 45 seconds to like 30 seconds of the song. I'm just smiling to myself and I'm like, my man. And you see, like the earphones he even gave me were like basic earphones. And so being a music person myself, I'm like, yo, if you take this sound onto speakers, see, so to home for mount speakers at the park. Mount speakers at the park.
I'm sure
very soon we'll be having an MDK versus Nathan Kwao concert. Mount speakers at the park, please.
MDK is a pro.
Nah, man. MDK will be he will be bouncing to this in his living room. I tell you. Let me read a few messages before we go on with the show. This one here is from Amos from Gomoa Fete. Says that in fact it's sad to hear that the FA still owe Apia some money. Let's be sincere to ourselves. How can you terminate someone's contract when you haven't settled his arrears? Well, his contract wasn't terminated. His contract did run out. It wasn't renewed. That's the clarity on that. This one's from Manchester from Soutum Agbeve. Says Massa, when is Nathan's track dropping? Yeah, the guy wanted to give me press. I said the whole Soutum is tuned in live. City Sports, you guys be too much. Can't wait to win money when the German league returns next week. Yes, sir, that's definitely on the agenda. Nana Egan says Sports Panorama. It's rather unfortunate how we treat our own. This one says Nathan be good rapper. Oh, my only problem is that his raps know they travel go past City Studios. Why? Because he's not pro yet. He can't make money off it yet. So it's just like a lot of people sharing for fun. When we decide to go, you know, when we decide to do Diddy and Notorious B.I.G., we make money from it.
I mean, like
when the gunman say Obana mi ojugba, I mean, actually
very soon we start working with.
So the next the project
like
will be dropping in the future.
Like he said himself, the others were like the other ones you thought were sick. They were like that you dear bro, you know, like before
there are more joints coming.
Those ones we're doing like we'll do like warm ups. This one is like the first proper beat maker. Give me this beat. King of Accra. Let's go to the studio. Me, Nathan Powell. Sprinkle some angel dust on it, and then we make a record. This one here says Nathan is sleeping on millions of pounds and dollars. Many are even an inch closer to rapping with such eloquence and clarity. But all over the place are celebrities. He should find his way to the Americas, and Ghana will host him next time as a celebrity star from Yakubu Ibn Chambers. Kizito Asin Atoms from okay, this one says what? This week the GFA included sleeping on Apia's salary in their legacy debt. Why are they now saying that it's the government who pays him? God save Ghana. This one's from Don Shepherd from Shukra. Says, hey guys, wow, Nathan Kwao has taken this thing to another level. I tell you, man, I tell you. This one's from Tufor Jr. from Kumasi. Says, after this track and what we have known him to do, Nathan is called and anointed into the rap ministry. Yeah, Charlie. There's powder outside. There's a bucket of water too outside. We'll do the ritual and the ceremony when you get outside. So pour the powder on you. Albert from Tema says that, see, Nathan, wait. I said Nathan. I said, do you know you do all? See, this afternoon I was thirsty for Eminem, and this evening you have dished me my meal. Hey! So that's some mad props.
Wow.
Mad props.
Eminem,
this one says, this one's from Otis.
I'm sure we'll play it again.
Yeah, Otis Sadat says that Charlie Nathan is really the chief in rap. Yeah, Charlie. Can you please share the link? The relax. Listening live in Lakeside Estate. # Sports Panorama. This one here is from Kwesi Anfield from Matayeko. Says this is the mark of a talented Bleobi. We never disappoint. You do all, chief. This one here says, this one's from William from Kolebu. Says, I'm daring Sarkodie to get on this track for a remix. Nathan Kwao be fire. What? Nathan do hey, a hot rough. Nathan. He said, Nathan, man, you're truly the chief. We got to get you and Manifest on the track. We'll be fire. This week from Oyarifa says Nathan should just shun sports and do rap music, guy. So the rap music there, it won't bring you constant money, especially in this country. So rap kakra, journalism kakra. This one here says, good evening, guys. Wondering the discussion tonight, but I doff my hat off to Nathan Kwao. He's a real deal lyricist, no size, expecting an international collaboration. Kudos to the producer, Charlie. So I Papi, the beat maker, King of Accra, the producer on the mix, Charlie. Mad. I'm just
so I just shared the link on Audio Mac.
My link needs soon, Nana.
I'll be sharing the YouTube link in a bit. So just go to my profile and then just go out there and enjoy it.
This is when we give you the
music to the world.
When we give you the Sports Panorama seal up, it's nasty. This is nasty.
We'll play it again for those who missed it, and you are wondering whether you heard right or you didn't hear it right. We'll play it again before we leave.
Now, give me like an acapella of that chorus again.
They call me the chief.
Oh yeah.
Big boy never sleep.
Oh yeah.
Put the rap on fleek.
Oh yeah.
With the 363.
Oh yeah.
Stop. 363, the ode to Citi TV's number.
Yeah. Like you are including Citi TV in your rap? What? Like you are like giving us shout outs in your rap?
363. So that's the 363.
Nah, man. Nah. This is like Charlie, only on Sports Panorama. Show proudly brought to us by Betway. Let's take a quick break. Snap break. We'll come back and then we'll delve into other matters. Charlie, it be like Coutinho wants swerve Chelsea. They said they were close to signing him. Last week they say, Coutinho is interested, London is blue, blah blah blah. Coutinho's agent has been talking this week, and then whoever started the Michael Essien Thomas Partey debate, Charlie, God bless you. Yes, we'll get into the thick of things in a bit. Sports Panorama will be right back. Don't touch your dial.
Citi 97.3 Accra. Citi 97.3. More variety.
Welcome back. Benjamin Nketsia here. Nathan Kwao is in studio with me. Coach Christopher Nimley also in studio with me. Man, I'm still reeling. At the party, Tony host. I don't have to talk too much about this.
You should have
fire.
You should have seen me after after the first recording, and King of Accra just played the rough mix. Like, I couldn't believe it because it had taken me a while to put it together because of work and other things. It was really fascinating because the song I had pictured in my mind
didn't come out like
no, like it was just nice just hearing seeing the idea alive like that. It was
you know the great thing about music, it literally never dies. It will be here 100 years, 200 years,
and there's more stuff coming.
Uja. Charlie, fire. Let me read a few tweets and then we'll get into the debate. But get to my Twitter, right, at Kojo Nketsia on Twitter, and please drop me a vote on that poll. Who the more complete midfielder, Partey or Essien? The Partey people say that they won't agree that we shouldn't put Michael Essien on some legend pedestal where he cannot be compared to anybody, because they are looking at Thomas Partey now and like, this young man has delicious game. So Michael Essien or Thomas Partey? I know where a lot of you lean, but just drop me a vote on this thing and let's see how it goes. Some messages coming through Twitter. This is from KMEC37. Says, Charlie, is Nathan still called Sugar Bosky? Guy be dope rapper. Yeah, James Agboson. I don't know if you know him from somewhere. This one here also coming through. Say it's from Kofi. Okay, Jating says that. So Nathan Kwao, what do you want to do? Language skills, check. Rapper, check. Sports info, check. Please leave some. When I say it at the intro, so you don't hear it. International relations analyst, the lyricist, sports journalist. Should I go on? You know what I've been talking about. Coach is telling me something else that Nathan does. I don't think the world should be hearing about.
It's okay. It's fine.
Coach needs to stop.
Christopher, what is
He needs to stop misbehaving. This one here says, this from Jerry Promise. Says, sometimes I wonder how you'll be comparing Partey to Essien. For God's sake, Partey has nothing to show for his career. Oh, Charlie, relax more. The person who will be giving us the info on the Partey juice is Pogba's cousin. So we'll be getting to him in a bit. This one here says that if this from Black Excellence says, if Nathan no do rap full time, then he's not living up to his dream. That's interesting. This one here is from Theodore Mauli. Says, Nathan, he says, boss, as we battle coronavirus, you for release album make we take Inspire the Soul. You are too good not to release an album. I have been saying this for some time. Think about it, boss. This one also here, coming through from Daniel Abu, says, hey Nathan, why? Oh, why? Oh yeah. Hashtag Sports Panorama. You put it there. Fidel Deke says, this isn't a matter of morality. Okay, I think you're talking about some matter that's brewing with the Nketsia Pierce stuff there. This was somebody asking me that, please, what is Nathan's rap name? He says, hashtag oh yeah. Nathan's rap name for the meantime is just Nathan. Please leave him alone until
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's trending on number 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're definitely dropping that again.
Oh yeah, it's trending.
Yeah,
that's
Charlie.
great. Thank you very much, everybody.
Skills, man. Too much skills on the mic. Too much skills on the mic. I'll be getting to more tweets in a bit, but Danny K, have you been talking to Pogba? We are getting to you in a bit. Let me read more tweets in the meantime as we get to Daniel Cranton. This one's from Mr. Fiagbe. He says, the delays in Nketsia Pierce's salary is a symptom of the normal lousy way of public office administration in Ghana. Virtually everyone is sleeping on the job. Jude Duncan is also tweeting at the show. Hashtag Sports Panorama. Making a point here, says that it's morally problematic that we have to pay $40,000 to Nketsia Pierce for beating Sao Tome and South Africa. These aren't games we expected to lose. It's a betrayal of all people who worked hard for our football in the past and actually won an AFCON. So that's Judanka tweeting at Sports Panorama there. So lots of tweets coming through. I'll read as many of them as I can as the show progresses, but keep your messages also coming. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. By way of passing, you know that the German Bundesliga is also set to resume on the 16th of May. Charlie, the Germans unveil some plenty ketchup plans to stay apart in the tunnel, dress before whatever, but you are going to get into contact when you get on the pitch. So I'm not too sure how they are articulating or trying to practicalize that whole plan on the ground, but it's a bold step. They are the first major European league to announce a return date to action, so definitely a bold step. Cousin Pogs, Nana Champong, aka Mr. Cranting, aka the richest man wherever. DK, Michelle.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, my two man, I say my hips don't lie.
Wait. Do that small liner for me again.
Oh, my two man, I say my hips don't lie. Charlie.
Can't worry.
The remix, they are they tough. The remix.
No, too hard.
Charlie. What was it?
Charlie, we base. How's it going in Abokobi on the mountainside? We know that these days you only leave your house via your chopper. So how's it going out there?
Yeah, I've bought the whole neighborhood, Charlie. You can never be too safe. So I've bought the whole neighborhood. Now I own the whole area.
Wow. So wait, if you've bought the whole, it basically means that you are responsible for distributing PPEs to the people, sharing food and everything, because everybody looks up to you now.
Everything, electricity, water, if government doesn't pay, I'll pay it for you. Don't worry.
Nice.
Don't worry.
No, me, I'm not worried. I know you are in control. I'm not worried. But Charlie, today there's an agenda brewing. I don't understand it too much. There's one side on the fence that say that Michael Essien is untouchable. Practically Ghana's most dominant, not just midfielder, but player in Europe in just about the last decade. Some say that You cannot make blanket statements like that. And when you put people on a pedestal, you give other people a chance to attain their level. And so the debate has started that who is the more complete player? Is it Thomas Partey of Atletico, who can score free kicks, long distance shots, can play right back, can play DM, can play AMC? Or is it Michael the Bison Banchi Essien? Right back, center back, left back, DM. Everywhere Michael Essien can also practically play. Long distance shots, he is in there as well. Tackling, he is in there as well. DK, does this debate make sense to you? And where do you stand?
Well, personally, you know me, I like these very challenging debates. So many challenges. If you bring this to it, I always want to hear both sides of it. Of where people stand. Personally, obviously, I think Essien is a better player. He's just a better player for me. There are some things you can give to Partey, but overall, if you look at them, if you ask the question, who is the more complete player, based on ability, raw footballing ability, I'll give it to Michael Essien. But I will say that Thomas Partey is not far off. And I'll say this because of his raw footballing ability. If you put him side by side with Essien, what he could do in terms of passing, reading of the game, dictating tempo, tackling, yes, I'll say Essien is better. But Partey is not far off. Partey is such a very, very good player. And this, when you guys asked me in the afternoon, I was on the side of agenda. And I'm still pushing my own personal agenda. Now, you look at Michael Essien when he was, and you look at Michael Essien when he was in Chelsea. I can boldly tell you that Essien didn't improve vastly when he was at Chelsea. Essien was very, very, very fast. He was a top-class player when he was in Chelsea. In 2008, he was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. And that nomination for the Ballon d'Or was largely because of what he did with the game of the season before. He also presented that nomination for Ballon d'Or in 2007 for Chelsea.
Daniel, if you can change your positioning slightly, your line is breaking up on us.
Oh, I'm going to be. Better now.
Yeah, this is better now.
Yeah, great. So I'm saying, you look at Essien in 2005, nominated for a Ballon d'Or, largely because of what he did for Lyon the season before. You look at Essien again in 2007, nominated for Ballon d'Or, with what he did with Chelsea. So he was still a top-class player. That's my point. Personally, I don't think he improved vastly at Chelsea. Now, the reason why Essien is regarded, personally, what I think, especially in European football, let's put the Black Stars pedigree aside. In European football, is because of what he did at Chelsea. Not necessarily because of performance, but he was at the right club. Why do I say this? I look at records. That's what we saw, his impact on the team with Lyon, and that with Chelsea. He won 2 league titles with Lyon in a cup in his 2 years at Lyon before he joined Chelsea. He won the league with Chelsea in his first season and won it, I think, in his last season, last but 2 seasons in 2010. So 2 league titles with Lyon in 2 years and 2 league titles in Chelsea in 7 or 8 years. You look at the cup titles he won, there's quite a number. But if you look at the performance-wise, I honestly don't think Michael Essien was a far better player with Chelsea than Lyon. I'll mention it again. He was at the right club. That is why people saw him and gave him the recognition he deserved. I personally feel that Partey on this summer is the most important summer in Partey's career. If he makes that right...
Please repeat that for me again.
Right, I said this summer is the most important summer transfer window in Partey's career. If he makes the right move to the right club, that's one good season. I think this is what will differentiate him from a good player to become at least from an African point of view. He has what it takes in terms of ability. He has everything. The only thing that is sitting on Partey right now is his geographical position, and that is his skill. He is not going to achieve anything personally in Atletico Madrid. His time there is done, and he has to move. I look at Partey with Black Stars, and I look at Essien Black Stars. And I can boldly tell every time in Black Stars was between 2005 and 2008. After that, he didn't necessarily do much. It was golden time. In fact, the tournament where every Ghanaian remembers Essien is the 2008 AFCON, where he literally carried.
I think we might have lost Daniel Cranton there. Charlie, Abokobi. The mountains, the Charlie getting in the way of the communication lines. We'll get back to Daniel on the line in a bit. In the meantime, Coach, you want to weigh in on this matter?
Definitely. Look,
Daniel is back on the line. Let me just round up with him, and then I'll come to you. Sure. Daniel, wrap up your point for us.
Yeah. So I'm saying that you look at Partey in the Black Stars, you look at Essien in the Black Stars, and I honestly feel that from a Ghanaian point of view, Partey just needs one AFCON, one good AFCON where he's carrying the team. He leads Ghana to a respectable position. Semi-final at least. I'm not saying if he does that, he'll be on par with Essien. But this guy has the ability, raw footballing ability, to end his career as one of the greatest Ghanaian players ever. And I repeat, this summer is the most important for him. Essien was doing equally as good as he was doing in New York. But he was hungry and he understood the dynamics of football, where your geographical position has a huge impact on your outlook as a player. And Essien moved from New to Chelsea and became a great just because he moved teams, not necessarily because he improved his performances. Partey needs to move from Atletico Madrid. If Partey moves from Atletico Madrid, has one good season in the Premier League, whichever club he's playing for, there is no telling where he could move next. Real Madrid, Barcelona, because look, he's good enough for these teams. I just feel that, yes, I've made my point by saying Essien is a better player than him. Partey will probably finish his career and Essien will still be better than him. But I believe that at the end of Partey's career, if he makes the right move now, there will be a reason to compare the two of them when his career is ended. And it will not be a flat out Essien is better than career and Partey, the summation of Partey's abilities. I feel that right now, it is in Partey's court. Whether he wants to end his career as a good player, one of the rest, or he wants to be remembered as one of the greats. If he wants to be remembered as one of the greats, then he has to be Atletico Madrid.
Abokobi Chief has spoken. Pogba's cousin, Nana Champon. We give you your accolades this evening. The people of Abokobi need dessert after their supper tonight. So we want to say thank you for joining us. Coach
Wazu,
the discussion is back in the studio.
I don't know. Look, I don't know where this actually came from. I don't know what the thinkings were when those people decided to put this together.
And that just tells you how powerful social media is. One person can just start something with a single tweet, and before you know it's called. Let me just give you a sense of how much this situation is causing confusion on social media. So if you look at the trends from Ghana, right? Partey and Essien both have a combined total of close to 10,000 tweets on this matter. 10,000.
I understand. There are times we have to do things like this to keep all of us awake. But there's no comparison to be made here.
There's no comparison to be made.
Not at all. Look, Michael Essien, if Essien were to be playing today, he'll be worth more than £150 million.
Ooh, you mean prime time Michael Essien?
Prime time Michael Essien. Chelsea bought him 2005.
Yeah.
You put that figure
and at that point, Olympic Lyonnais were actually a big team back then.
Yes, and Chelsea paid £32 million for the young man.
That's a lot of money.
And if you think about that time,
that was a lot of money.
That time, I remember it was the biggest thing.
African deal.
It was the biggest thing in French football because it was part of this Lyon team that had Juninho and Mamadou Diarra, that was Michael Essien, all these guys,
Eric Carrier and
Sidney Govou and stuff. And Essien was playing at this amazing level.
And Chelsea
they were hell bent on getting their money.
For the very first time, Alex Ferguson was very reluctant to pay the money. But at the end of the day, he regretted he didn't pay that money. or United, because Essien is a born Man United supporter. All Ferguson needed to do was to match Chelsea.
I think Essien's fee was £24 million.
Yes, 24.
Yes.
But I think there was a player added to it.
Thiago.
Thiago. So
yes.
when you put Thiago's valuation and everything, it added up to the 30.
Thiago was no slouch back then.
Yes. I think Thiago.
Thiago, the Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was added. He was part of the deal that brought Michael Essien
level midfielder
to Chelsea. So, like I'm saying, look, Essien is by far.
He's in hallowed territory.
By far. Look, after Bedi Pele, he's the best Ghanaian player I've seen. By far.
That's a bold call.
Yes. I didn't see I'm talking about those
you
I
have seen with your eyes. Take
After
Pele away,
Pele,
and there's Michael Essien.
And
It is not close.
no, nobody comes closer to him. Look, he was that good to the extent that he could walk into any team in the world.
You know what I loved about Michael Essien the most? Big game temperament.
Yeah, he was.
Big game temperament. He's not scared to take a 35-yard shot for. He was just up for it.
The day I actually watched him live, with all my football knowledge, I watched him, and it was only him I was watching on the pitch. There were 22 players there.
You had eyes only for Michael Essien.
Look, at every time I wanted the ball to be given to him. You remember 2008 against Nigeria, that 2-1. Look,
I remember we did that throwback
me.
on Football Made in Ghana last year.
Especially at the time where John Mensah was shown the red card, where he had to step into defense and make sure that everything went well. Look, he was that good that players like Makelele, Lampard, Ballack,
he was playing regular football with these guys.
Of course. And they respected him to the extent that Mourinho could say that this is the engine of my team. And at that time, Mourinho was by far the best coach in the world.
Yeah.
And nobody could doubt that. Essien's ability to control games, that is what I think Partey will have to start doing. Not only for the Black Star, but in the midst of Ballack, Lampard, Makelele, Essien gets on the ball and he takes the steam out of every game. And he dictates the tempo. He gives it. He says, come on, give it back to your boss. He give it back to your boss. He more or less made everybody around him. Look, I listened to Stevie Appiah talk about him some other day, and Stevie was like, look, he will pay money all day to go and watch the Buffalo. And there was a day I was with him. I met Essien in another studio, and I was like, look, what made him that good? He told me one thing. He said, look, coach, I like to sleep a lot. So whenever he's on the pitch, he's so fresh. That is why he could, because he said, look, it was about fitness. He said, my debut for Chelsea, I played 30 minutes, but I punted than any other time I had played for Leon. Wow. So that clearly told me that if I really want to succeed in this league, I needed to quadruple my resting period. And Mourinho said that, look, he sleeps more than any other player. When you tell him that it is time for the job to be done, he gets out there and he gets the job done. But for Partey, he's that good a player. He's very, very good player. And for me, I think what he really needs to do, like Daniel said, it is time for him to leave Atletico Madrid. He leaves. I don't want him to go to Arsenal, because I sincerely do not think that Arsenal will have the right players around him
to bring out the best
out of him. I think that should Chelsea hear Fentio's player, Jorginho, wants to go back to his father, Mauricio Sarri. If Chelsea can create that space in their midfield, look, maybe Michael Essien will have to recommend.
And I'll tell you one thing. Look, if there's one thing we need to also credit, it's not even on the pitch. Michael Essien is basically responsible for the Chelsea charter in Ghana.
Of course,
like, he's the reason why Ghanaians are Chelsea fans. And I can say that there was a time where I was a little skeptical about which of the Premier League teams had a bigger fan base. Was it United or was it Chelsea? Look, when Essien played in Ghana, there was no doubt in my mind who had the bigger fan base down here.
When we do the Premier League here, right? I always say this, and I say it to you guys in the newsroom, that the biggest game in English football is Man United and Liverpool.
Yeah.
the biggest English game in Ghana is Man United and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Whenever we do a Man United Chelsea roadshow, just you can see the numbers.
The atmosphere is mad.
And all of that is down to Michael Essien. The amount of fans
I wish I could take you back to my high school days just to give you.
so-
Then
see-
it was a cinema atmosphere. Look,
we of course, I think Thomas Partey has what
he has the markings.
his own great,
He has the markings.
his great story, right? But he still hasn't commanded that kind of reputation Essien had in his pomp.
The sort of
and
dominance.
it's not because he's a bad player. No,
Sometimes it's because he's not getting the eyeballs.
there's that as well.
Look,
and
when
I
you
think
see
that
Michael Essien walk out of the tunnel, no more. Nobody tells you this is an extraordinary player.
Yes, Michael Essien was he was just different.
Charlie.
Let me read a few tweets coming through. This one is from Atu Mojojojo or Atu Mojo. See, Sally. Partey is not even playing at Essien's Lyon level when he was the best player in France. Let's stop with the blasphemy. This one here is from Kwame Kels. Says, who dares disrespect Essien that way? Essien played and was the best player in the French league at age 23. Partey is good, but not close to Essien, please. A lot of other tweets coming through says, Partey versus Essien is a mismatch. Yapon. #sports panorama. And this one here also coming through from Parkway. He says times are different, the levels have changed, and hence Partey's peak is different from Essien's peak.
What are they playing today that the bull will not dominate if he happens to be
somebody here also says that I totally agree. I love Partey, but the peak Essien was in
I
the
think
league.
Essien was French League Player of the Year once or twice. Was it twice? I think. At least I remember 04-05.
And as a DM, that's unthinkable.
Charlie.
Because the French league, as much as they have a lot of DMs and strong players, they were gifted with a lot of offensive talent at the
and
point.
for him to shine in a team that had Juninho
and being voted the best player in that
and
team.
at that time, if you looked across the French teams, you had PSG that were no slouch. They had the likes of Pedro Paletta playing for them.
Yeah.
The likes of RC Lens had great players. Lille that time because that time was when Jean Macoun started, and Jean Macoun's reputation was also growing as a defense.
Julie.
And then you had the likes of Julie and Co in other teams. So for Essien to be
there were
awarded,
players in the league at
for
the
him
time.
to be picked as French league player in his
that
pomp, it was
massive.
great. And like I was saying, I think Partey has what it takes to write his own great chapter. But of course, a lot of things will have to hit. For example, he has to be the main man in his team. I think he has to even define what it is that he wants to be as a player. Because for me, I think that one of Partey's problems is that he's so good and versatile. You struggle to.
He keeps getting shuttled everywhere.
Yes, of course. Essien also got that later in his career. But I think that by the time, I think Essien,
when it was happening to Essien, he was on the decline.
Yes, he defined what he was. And so in a midfield of, like Coach, you said, like Lampard, Ballack, and Makalele, somehow Chelsea had to find him. They had to find him space to play. So I think that Partey will carve his own great career. He's already showing a lot of potential. I think it will come with time. And I think part of that is finding an identity to his play or to his repertoire. And then
if you see Michael Essien dressed up as a player,
he just inspires confidence.
And you are looking at him, feeling gadoche.
You know the funny thing about him too. He has this extraordinary calm demeanor off the pitch. The moment he steps on the pitch,
he's a different animal.
Just changes.
He's a different animal altogether.
Man, that guy was something. Man. He was something else, honestly. But I really do agree with Daniel too. Look, you could play all the football under the sun. It's almost as if the Partey performance against Atletico was like his best ever.
Against Liverpool. He
has put up several of such performances in the league. But Atletico matches don't get viewed until it's against a team like Liverpool.
Like
so unless maybe he's going to like a Barcelona or a Real Madrid or moving to the Premier League, he might be great, but his greatness might never really be truly appreciated.
Now, streets they got my name, sit on top of fame, dropping these rhymes of beats we got the flame. Now,
yeah, Charlie, the song is like running in the background, you know. But guys, just quick thoughts on the German Bundesliga deciding to set May 16th as a resumption date. Nathan, let me start off with you. We have some Ghanaian cats in there, Kasim Nuhu and Bernard Tekpete of Fortuna Düsseldorf, and then there's also Hans Nunusape of Greater Forth.
Bundesliga too. I'm sure we'll hear from him in a bit. I wasn't too surprised. In the last few weeks, I'd been paying close attention to a lot of the things happening in Europe. And the Germans, with each passing day or week, they looked like they were determined to get their football back. All of that was hanging on government approval and a green light. It looks like the people in Germany believe that they can actually play Bundesliga games. The fans will not be there. There are still issues of whether or not the matches will be aired fully on TV, free to air and all of that. Those are things they are sorting out. But it looks like the players and clubs are ready to play. Of course, they will have to do so under very strict protocols. One of the things they'll be doing is that if somebody tests positive for COVID-19, they will not mention the player's name. He will be isolated. Everybody gets tested again and they move on with their lives. They are hell-bent on finishing. But they are doing this for two reasons.
Are a different type of
they are doing this for two reasons quickly. One is a money game.
Yeah.
They are very afraid of the TV companies demanding refunds and compensation for content not being available. And they don't want to go into that kind of war.
Clubs will literally not exist.
They will not exist if they have to
football
cough
doesn't
up
resume soon.
that kind of money. The second reason, contracts. Now, player contracts, or most player contracts, will be running out in June and July. They need to have a definite end to the season so everybody knows their future.
That's it.
If you are restarting football later in the year, what does it mean? Does it mean that I'm still, say, a Bayern Munich player by September when my contract on paper runs out in June or July? Those are the issues they are trying to avoid, and that's why they want to get football back as quickly as possible. There are 9 rounds to be played. They say they will have a special way of playing all the 9 rounds, and then they'll decide the winner and they move on.
Coach, final thoughts from you before we run out.
At the end of the day, I just hope it works well, because like I said last week, nothing can be equated to life. I just hope that they will get it right, and at the end of the day, the 9 games will be played and everybody involved will come out alive, and then we'll definitely find a way to get this COVID-19 out of the way. I want to come here every Saturday, every Sunday.
So I miss the Premier League. Man. You have no idea.
But Nathan, what is the latest on them?
The Premier League, they are still doing video conference calls.
They are still going back and forth over Project Restart. The biggest hurdle they are facing now is that of the 20 clubs, about 6 or 7 are fighting the idea of playing at neutral grounds, because that idea has been floated. Teams like Brighton and Co, they are saying that why neutral ground? You take away the integrity of the competition. Now, if 14, they will go to a vote. If 14 teams decide that let's play on a neutral ground, everybody will play. But the problem, though, is that you could have teams taking the legal route, because in France, Amiens, for example, they are relegated. They are taking the matter to court, saying that we had matches to play, we could have won, we could have survived. Why did you end the league? So I think that we'll have a bit of this in England before a resolution is done. Again, you put things into context. Government has to decide that we are lifting lockdown restrictions, you can play. Fans will not be there. But like I'm saying, government is looking at restoring good mood in England by bringing back the football. But the British government is also faced with the hardcore numbers of COVID-19, and so they will have to take a decision. But so far, they've not taken any major step for it. So we are still a lot of movement, but no forward movement.
Well, it's a wrap. It's a wrap from us here inside the studios of Citi 97.3.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell you for a fact that you really need to stay at home. You need to sanitize. You need to keep your social distancing on point. You need to wear your mask. Wear your mask. Ghana has now crossed the 4,000 mark in terms of COVID-19 cases, 4,012 to be precise. So this really has gotten dire, and I'm sure that we want to protect ourselves, protect our families and our loved ones. Stay at home if you have nowhere to go. But I leave you in the hands of the chief. Oh yeah. Betway sponsors Sports Panorama. Benjamin Nketsia, we out.